Ew, this will be interesting. This is the first time I've done it on a cell phone and holding it while also reading what I've written down. So let's try this out. So first I wanted to open up with an apology on two fronts. So first, I straight missed my video yesterday. I only realized once it was 1 a.m. and I was in bed. And so I just I decided to sleep at that point. I was used to being home and where the video can just be done on my screen. Like I'm usually just right by my computer, and so it's easy. In the last few days, I've gotten in a workflow of it's easy to have the computer right next to me, and so I have the webcam up, and I use the camera app, and like it's been a workflow, and this is the first time I've been not at my house in the afternoon. What I should have done is prepare for that and think about how I could get a video in otherwise. And I mean, I'm carrying 2 or 3 cameras around with me at all points, including cell phone and everything. So, not really an excuse, but I'm gotta figure that out. And then on the second front, I totally skipped out on game night, and that's another thing I've been thinking about. Because I came up to Thomas's place, and I don't know why, but I just default to like staying. So, one person being sick doesn't mean that 3 people didn't have to skip out on game night, and so that's Regina, Thomas, and I. I don't know, like, I'm trying to figure out is why I kind of do this, like, especially with a group of friends, especially in this group of friends. I just feel like I latch on to Thomas, and I don't give proper attention to other people that are also, in the same friend group that I'm also friends with. It's completely unintentional, and after the fact, I only like really realize it a lot of the time after the fact, like when I have to analyze the situation, but because it's unintentional, I think it means it's even more of something that I should pay attention to. Yeah, I don't know. So A, not gonna miss another one of these. And then B, gonna stop skipping out on people. I need to work on that a lot, so sorry about that. Getting into more of the questions, prosthetics is super interesting. Originally, I really wanted to go to MIT. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought I could get in there. But I want to go to MIT. Hugh Hare is a professor of biomechatronics there, and I saw one of his TED Talks on... he lost both of his legs in a climbing accident, and then he built his own legs, and now he's like a huge biomechatronics professor at MIT, their media lab. So I thought that was the coolest origin story ever. And so I wanted to work on stuff like that. In my mind, it's one of the coolest engineering challenges because it's replacing one of the best engineered things that we know when they fail. And that's a huge task. And just like you said, Srry, the opportunity to give someone a better quality of life for something that I take for granted, that's crazy. That's a really cool opportunity. On your note of social media, a huge note of maintaining friendships across distances. That's interesting because I do think, like Christoph said, the kind of throwing things into a void. I think in my mind it's kind of throwing things in a void with the hope that there's some maintenance of those friendships, but I think actually that might be getting into the kind of like a false or bad maintenance of a friendship, is just expecting that talking about yourself or just expecting that updating people on your life is friendship. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I have to think more about that, but social media being a kind of way to skirt around maybe more of conversation. I don't know. This is interesting. I agree with you on the note of not judging people too harshly on other people's on their social media past, because 100% people are allowed to grow. But in a lot of these big high-profile cases, I've just seen people not. People think with anger first. People think with, oh, they were offended, and they go after it. And so as much as I want people to be judged by their overall actions, it seems like a lot of people are going to end up getting on judge people on how they've progressed and where they are now, but it seems like people are just centered on the past. Shreya's question on where would I live? Just when you said the first part of the question, my first thoughts were California, somewhere in California. I know that's pretty big. New York and London. But then when you added but when you said right now, like where could I move right now? Honestly, the only thing that came to mind is Boulder. Because of the friendships, the connections, and things that I already have here. And I wonder if that's also like an aversion to making new friends, or an aversion to I don't know. I feel like I've found a lot of my people here, and the idea of, I don't know. It's like, why go find other people if you found the people that you enjoy hanging out with? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not good at making new friends. I'm really, really good at making new acquaintances, but not necessarily the maintenance of all of those friendships. And sorry I got back on the friends thing, but I guess it's on my mind a lot right now. Also, I'm thinking schedule-wise. I would kind of like to have a little bit more of a schedule to when I post these videos, so it's not an open deadline. So for me, and this doesn't necessarily have to mean anyone else, I put all of our times on a schedule. Like I put Hong Kong time versus Mountain time, and split it up as evenly as I could into like around like thirds, so we each have a different time. If we did this, they would be posted at relatively even intervals around time. So I'm thinking I will post every day by 2 p.m. That's my goal, is the need to post every day by 2 p.m. I was usually not doing that because it was just an easy thing to do at the end of the day, but like I'm doing right now, this is kind of uncomfortable, and that's part of this whole thing is grittiness is part of it, is doing things that are uncomfortable. So that's I'm going to post every day by 2 p.m. Shreya, if you can post every day by 8 p.m. Mountain Time, and Christoph, if you can post by every day 8 p.m. Mountain Time, that is relatively evenly spaced out. And it's also not necessarily like post by that time, it's post close to that time. So then we can all like properly respond to each other. And that's another thing is it's easier when you can just kind of do it whenever, post whenever. But I think since we are in a 3-way conversation, it might be nicer if we post it on a more even schedule. I don't know. I also know that Shreya, you're doing homework late until the night. I don't know. Just a thought. I guess that's a question. I want to hear your guys' feedback and ideas around that. Yeah. Anyways, sorry again for missing. First fail of the gritty committee. Yeah, that's why I need this. I need to get better at grittiness. So yeah, my bad. So beyond those questions of just like things that I was coming up with, I don't think I have any questions. I think it is Christoph for a question, but after me and Shreya. No, after Christoph responds to Shreya's question as well. Maybe. Okay. I'll see you guys later.